Hey, welcome back everybody. We are back to part 7 and we're going to do a nice walking tour of Curacao after our bus tour. And you can see here that it is a beautiful day.
It was warm, but it was really pretty.
And we're going across the something old lady swinging bridge. I forget the name of it. But it's basically on just a bunch of like boats, like big boat pontoons. And at the other end of the bridge, you can see up ahead, there's a big giant motor. And it literally just motors and swings the bridge off to the side and lets boats pass through, and then it swings back over.
It's really cool to watch.
So, see the big bridge there we went over on the tour.
And then what you're seeing is a lot of shops. And like I said before in the other videos, Curacao is just so quaint and charming. The pastel colored buildings and the architecture is just amazing and so very pretty. Very picturesque.
And I felt the town was very clean. There was no trash, very little trash in the streets. So yeah, I mean, it had that going for it also. So it was very well kept. There was lots of shops. I felt that the shops here were more unique. And you'll see here in a little bit, in a future clip, we will be walking through an old fort that they've converted to a mall and casino, which will show you more how to get to the downtown area from the ship.
And that's where more of the upscale shopping is in that fort that's been transformed into a mall.
Yeah. So here we're just taking in the sights. Like I said, we had just gotten off the bus tour, so we kind of knew this area a little bit. Here's the kind of the plaza where we ate lunch. The food was really good. The drink was weak, and the service was very slow. That common theme, but it's just like one of the little side streets with some little shops. There's a little drugstore, so if you needed aspirin or shampoo or something, you can just pop in there.
And the people are really friendly. The islanders, they're very friendly.
Yep. So.
And there are some shops, as you can see here on the right, that have been closed down. That seems to be a common theme on the islands.
It was kind of hodgepodge with the shops as far as who was open and a lot that were out of business. So this tourists must not be spending the money like they used to at these ports. And again, there's a lot of shops, so that makes a lot of competition.
Yeah, there was a lot of shopping.
So.
And a lot of eateries.
Let me see here in a little bit. We're going to come around this corner up ahead to the right, come back out to the main square. Oh no, this is where we go around the corner and we go to the market.
I love these open air markets.
So this was the smells of the fresh herbs and the fresh produce was amazing. So.
And the people are so happy when you buy something from them.
So a lot of the stuff's handmade. They had a lot of what would you call it, like botanical soaps and things like that on sale. So it was a lot of unique things. She ended up buying a hat and what else?
A cover-up. Yeah. A swimsuit cover-up. It looks like a dress, but it's pretty see-through, so you'd want to wear a swimsuit underneath it. But here's where we were looking at hats.
Yep. You get your hat, you got your classic tchotchkes, you have t-shirts, like she said, cover-ups, suntan lotion, botanical lotions, almost like apothecary little stands, like what kind would you say, like herbal medicines and things too?
Yes.
You can tell a lot of the locals, this is where the locals go.
And a lot of ethnic hair stuff.
Right.
I thought that was interesting.
Yep. So here's another view of the bridge from the market. And it goes, the market in a big circle. And was interesting. That was one of my favorite things to walk through.
And there's the hat I bought.
Finally found a hat after 3 islands.
And then here they had these little dresses for little girls, were all hand embroidered. They were so cute.
Yeah.
We don't have little ones anymore to buy for, but I could see my little girl wearing that when she was little. It was really pretty.
And your refrigerator magnets if you're in that kind of thing, baseball hats.
Tote bags.
Tote bags, lots of tote bags, tons of hats. But very cool place, very cool place. Now here we come back out onto the plaza, and you can see the ships there for a brief second off in the distance. Well, that was the ship that was there at the main port. But and now you're coming up onto the boat produce guys. Right now, the boat produce guys, we were told, are most of them coming up from Venezuela and other areas. So I don't know what's going on with that, but they come across the way and they sell their produce.
The produce looked amazing.
Yeah.
It looked really good. But this area is kind of run down.
Mm-hmm.
I thought, aside from the produce that they're selling, the produce looked really good. But on the other side of the street, it was kind of run down and a little sketchy.
And like this tied in with that marketplace, so it was almost like this is where all the locals hang out. So the area over where the touristy shops are was more clean, and the buildings were painted.
And more upscale.
More upscale. And you come over here kind of where the locals go, which is kind of, we wanted to see some of that. We wanted to experience what the locals do.
But you can see the produce looks absolutely amazing.
So just another side street on our way back over to the fort shopping. You know, typical, you know, shoe stores.
A lot of knockoff stuff.
Jewelry stores, of course.
Tons of jewelry stores.
Tons of jewelry stores. And just, you know, some that were out of business. So,
but you could find anything and everything you can imagine. You could find.
So this is the part coming up that we came around to another little square right by the swinging bridge here to our right, and there was another really nice restaurant stretched all along the waterfront there. And you'll see here in a minute, we'll come up onto that, but you can see how beautiful it is.
Be prepared to do a lot of walking.
Yeah.
Wear comfortable shoes.
Yeah. I was lucky. I found a really good pair of flip-flops that had really good arch support and were really soft and cushiony. So don't skimp on shoes. Wear tennis shoes if you don't have a good pair of flip-flops, because it's a lot of walking.
Yeah.
You can see the ships off in the distance there. That was a beautiful blue restaurant off in the distance.
And then that swinging bridge, when we were ready to go back, it broke down. They were having issues with it
working.
So we took a ferry.
Yeah, there's a ferry that's free.
Water. So there's a free ferry, so you don't have to take the bridge. You can take a ferry. And we sat down here, and we're gonna have a drink and a snack, but no one waited on us, so we just got up.
There was a
left.
waitress standing right by our table, and she just could have cared less, you know. So we just got up and left and went back to the ship.
Yeah.
But be prepared for that. They really could care less that they get to you. You pretty much have to flag them down and ask them to get you something.
And here's the fort we were talking about that they've converted into a mall.
Riff Fort. So as you get off the ship, guys, they're at the main port. Just keep going straight, because we made the mistake of going left initially, and it took us off the beaten path. There wasn't a lot of good signage. But you'll see here at the end of this clip, we're going to just let you see kind of a walk through this nice mall area, and you'll see where you need to come off of the boat.
And that seems to be an unfortunate, in my opinion, common theme at the islands. There's not a lot of direction. If you don't know where you're going and what you're doing, and you're new to the area, you've never been there before, it's really hard to navigate where you're supposed to go and
which is counterintuitive.
How you're supposed to get
Why
there.
would you do that?
Yeah.
So you kind of have to ask, hey, you know what?
None of the islands had good signage and good explanations of where
makes no sense.
where were the good places for tourists to visit. So you might want to do a little more research than we did before
Google Earth.
we left.
Google Earth is going to be our friend in the future. So I'll be scoping the islands out more for our next cruise on where we should go and not go.
Right, and find out if you need to take a taxi somewhere or if things are within walking distance.
Is there a bus?
Is there a bus or a bus tour?
Right.
Those are things that you really want to find out. And we were just in explore mode, and we're kind of just winging it. And I wish we had done it was a little harder to wing it than we imagined it to be. But this is all inside that fort area. This is all upscale. There's eateries and tons of shopping, and most of it is upscale shopping.
Right.
I think there was a Tiffany's in here, and they sold Michael Kors bags and
A casino?
that kind of thing. Yeah, a casino. So
I don't know how much better the service was going to be inside the fort because we didn't stop and get anything on our way back to the boat. However, just be prepared, be a little more aggressive than you normally are to say, hey, I want a drink, come over here, because otherwise you'll just sit and sit and sit and sit.
And that was just our experience. So, I mean,
Right.
maybe you talk to other people who have been there at different times and maybe they've experienced something different, but that was our experience on almost every island.
Yeah. So you can see here, you kind of come through one of the old fort entrances that was heavily fortified, and then out into another nice square that leads over to the ship port. And it has this beautiful little fountain. It was really nice. And I wished we had discovered this area earlier because we could have spent more time. The other issue is now when you're into the port, I think we had to leave by like 4 on this day. So that's a factor. You kind of want to get back to the ship a good hour early before the sail time. So, you know, we were starting to run out of time after the bus tour. We already walked around, had lunch.
And we had done a lot of walking by the time we
Yeah.
got to this point, and went through a lot of shops, so we were kind of shopped out.
Right. And before our trip, you know, we bought a lot of new clothes and things we wanted to take on the trip, so there wasn't a whole lot of need to buy clothing.
But you can see there's Tommy Hilfiger, and this was Nautica, so it's all name brand, higher end shopping.
Yep. So, lots of souvenir potential here if you want to bring home shirts or little jewelry things. But like if you go to the small little stands at this port, you bought that some old lady. What was that kind of? It was some kind of stone jewelry.
Yeah, it was a special kind of stone that they only have in the Caribbean. I forget the name of it right now, but I like the handmade stuff. I like supporting local artisans on the islands. I can get Tommy Hilfiger jeans anywhere. I don't need to buy those on the islands. But the people are so happy when you support them.
Bracelets
and I enjoy that.
Like you said, handmade jewelry.
Yes.
That's really nice because you're not going to find that anywhere else.
I like the unique pieces that have the island flavor to them.
Yeah. See, Swatch. So I hadn't seen Swatch in a long time from where we're from in Ohio. So, and had some condos here.
And there's the casino.
Carnival Casino. But that's basically it. Thanks for coming along for the ride today, guys. Look forward to part 8. It's going to be Bonaire, and we did a taxi tour you're going to like. That was probably right after Curacao, maybe like a close second.
Yeah, Bonaire was
Curacao.
really, yeah,
They're very nice, have a nice flavor, kind of have some
Yeah.
uniqueness. So stay tuned for that. Hit like, hit subscribe, share the videos, and we'll see you next time.
Bye. Thanks for watching.